Another part to the C2 Corvette LS 6 and 6-speed with C4 Corvette suspension. The one thing that I had to cut is the floor, and we've covered that earlier. But now the question is, what do you do with that hole? So you have to know that there's clearance for whatever you do, for any movement. You don't want anything rubbing and vibrating, even though this is a fixed center differential on the Corvette, of course. So what I did is I took just an old rag and I doubled it up, and I used that as my cushion, like this, tucked it in there, and then I use this floor protection construction cardboard you can get at Home Depot. I had a bunch of it left over, and so I started mocking something up that would work with the cardboard. As you can see, I was looking at doing something like that, and that just didn't look good. So my next iteration was a bigger piece like this, so I could cover the whole tunnel like this. And so once you get your basic shape, you can start making lines where you want to fold it, like right here. Fold it in here like this and get this. So my first priority was being low enough to cover this. So this cutout right here, because it was pretty low. So then what you do is you take and you lay that on your big sheet of metal. You can lay it flat that way, and you can start with that. So I have come up with this, and it started out as a flat piece of metal with some folds in it and some curves that I just broke into it, actually over the edge of this while I was sitting in the car. Just fold it, and as long as you don't make any real sharp corners, it works. So then you have to figure out how to make a contour to the floor, and that's just hammering and stretching the metal in the right places. So how that works is you make a line, you make a reference point, and you can still see part of my line where it needs to meet the body. And then you hammer it, you hammer that section right there, and you gradually go out with your hammer to stretch this metal like this. And I started with my big ball peen hammer. Old school, I don't have a bunch of fancy tools. But this works just fine. So I started with this, dimpled it real good, and then after I got my contour, the depth I need, then I use body hammers, flat body hammer like this. As you can see, the face is flat, and then to smooth out the really big dimples that the ball peen hammer makes, you use a hammer like this, and I'm sure this is just a Harbor Freight hammer. They work just fine. But the complicated side was the driver's side, because it ended up needing a heck of a lot of massaging to get it to go into this deep curve. It took me about, I don't know, I came out here about 3.5 hours to come up with this much of it, and it fits really well now. As you can see, it'll just drop down in there like that. Fits here, got a good contour around here. It meets the floor, meets this. It's close enough here that fasteners will pull it in. My next concern is with this fiberglass body, I'm going to have to come up with a solution for retaining that, because that has to be an inspection cover if you ever need to do differential work on this car. Well, no, actually it doesn't, because you can drop the entire differential out without removing the bracket put in there. But that's my next stumbling block is how to attach that and not interfere with anything below. But that's the update on the tranny tunnel, or the rear differential tunnel. Till next time.